We have another solar storm warning. Earth is facing a triple threat from space as a direct impact is predicted. A solar storm predicted to hit the planet in a direct hit this Monday. It's not only that we had one this past week, now we have another one coming on Monday. The solar storm predicted to hit the planet with a direct hit this time. That's not good news, obviously. Now, some of them have been, the past one has been sideswiped. It was to sideswipe us. Now, space weather physicist Dr. Tamitha Skov made the prediction just this morning that a solar storm will soon hit our Earth. Data from both NASA and the US-based National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, predicts that the astronomical phenomenon will be impacting the planet over the next 2 weeks. NOAA's 3-day outlook predicts that there's an 80% chance of a major storm Monday, March 14, just before the Ides of March, March 15. This current prediction includes a 20% that the storm will impact the UK as well. Aurora, beautiful lights showing the sky in the high altitudes, expected to be seen further towards the equator than normal during that storm. There is also expected to be issues for amateur radio GPS systems, particularly near the dawn and dusk. Dr. Skov tweeted yesterday, direct hit. NOAA and NASA predict models showing solar storm to hit the Earth between 12 noon and 9 o'clock in the evening, March 13. So that's tomorrow night, UTC. Impact should be strong, she said. Expect aurora deep into mid-latitudes. Amateur radio and GPS reception issues, especially near dawn dusk and on Earth's night side. As she said this morning, solar storms and aurora 5-day outlook, busy week with a triple threat. A big solar storm is coming, sandwiched between a glancing blow from a previous solar storm and some fast solar wind. A relatively weak C-class solar flare blasted from the Earth-facing side of the Sun on Thursday last week, while Dr. Tony Phillips, spaceweather.com, stated that these flares are usually unremarkable. This one lasted for nearly 12 hours. Scott Sutherland wrote of the solar flare for the Weather Network, as long as this long-duration flare was blasting out energy into space, it was accompanied by the eruption of a cloud of charged solar particles known as solar plasma cloud, a solar storm, or a coronal mass ejection, CME. He said even a glancing blow by a CME is often enough to cause a geomagnetic storm. In this case, though, it appears as though Earth will be affected by the densest part of the cloud. That cloud could spark an intense geomagnetic storm, with auroras visible across Canada and even into the northern parts of the United States. Geomagnetic storms have been known to cause massive damage to power grids and radio communications and cause electrical blackouts. While Earth's atmosphere and magnetosphere allow adequate protection against radiation, at ground level, astronauts can be subject to potentially lethal radiation poisoning from this. Most of the time, though, the most noticeable impacts of a geomagnetic storm is the vibrant display of aurora, the northern and southern lights. These are usually only visible close to the north and south poles, but during a geomagnetic storm, they are more vibrant and more likely to be visible closer to the equator. Solar storms occur when the sun emits huge bursts of energy in the form of solar flares and coronal mass ejections. Solar flares can be as powerful as 1 billion nuclear bombs, and these phenomena send a stream of electrically charged particles and magnetic fields towards our Earth at a speed of about 3 million miles per hour. The CME, this is the CME yesterday. So we're having a very, very large increase of solar activity. Just about every week we're having CMEs coming at us. The CME is a result of the long-duration C2 class solar flare near sunspot AR 2962. And this is it right here, around here. What is a category 2 C2 class? Okay, the C2, C-class flares are small with few noticeable consequences here on Earth. They're categorized into 3 classes: X class are the biggest. They're more major events that can trigger planet-wide radio blackouts and long-lasting radiation. M-class flares, medium size, it can cause brief radio blackouts that affect Earth's polar regions. Minor radiation storms sometimes follow the M-class flare, and compared to X and M events, C-class flares are the smallest with few noticeable consequences on Earth. Okay, so thank goodness it's not going to be that big. And here we are again. Where are we here? This one lasted 12 hours, they said, allowing it to pump plenty of energy into the CME. Moderately strong G2 class storms are possible after CME arrives, during which storm naked eye auroras are appearing in northern tier U.S. states from Maine to Washington. Power grids and satellites will experience little to no effect, though. The new model of the CME from NASA pinpoints the arrival around 6 o'clock tomorrow evening, UTC. And this is the animation. The yellow dot is Earth. Right there. Okay. Okay. Now, geomagnetic storms, if they materialize, could spill into March 14, making this Pi Day geomagnetic storm. And this appropriate, after all, auroras form a circle around Earth's magnetic poles. Taking another look at NASA's model, CME hits Venus less than a day before it reaches Earth. The CME won't spark a geomagnetic storm on Venus. It can't. The planet has no internally generated global magnetic field. Instead, the impact will erode a small amount of atmosphere from Venus' unprotected cloud tops. Geomagnetic storms, one of the perks of living on Earth. High latitude sky watchers should be alert for the auroras March 13 and 14. Okay, so this is it again. So that's the latest on space weather. And as we said, it seems that every week we're having a CME coming at us. This is because we're getting into a new solar cycle 25, and we're heading into a lot of solar activity. This is on space weather and on Express UK. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.